Following the signs. Hello, Scorpio. All placements, this is going to be your reading. Do take what resonates, leave what doesn't. These are general readings in the world of online tarot. So if you are looking at something more specific to your own journey, I do encourage you to get yourself a personal reading. If not with me, with someone that you trust, a reader that you trust. Feeling like there's a strong pull to share that message, that there's a lot of divination abuse out there in the wide world. And we can be sometimes seeking answers and not getting the desired answers we want, or maybe misled in some way. So set the intention this reading for what it is, what messages you are needing me to deliver to you today, and what guidance I can give. The energy that I am picking up on today, you could be feeling just a little scattered. It's like you are in the world but not of the world, or you're feeling very torn between that left and right side of the brain. You could be opening up to your own spiritual gifts in some way, really starting to harness in on that intuitive nature that every Scorpio does possess. And maybe there are times at the moment where you could be feeling really spaced out. You could be bumping into furniture. You could just be forgetting what you're talking about in mid-conversation. And, this is where there's that overlaps of what side of the brain is operating, especially if you are very caught up and having to, go about your normal daily activities. Maybe this is, mainstream work. This could be parenting. This could be trying to be on. And there is a call here, some guidance to overcome this is to really, in those moments, really allow yourself time to acknowledge the changes that are occurring. Someone could be going through a real deep transformation process right now, and you're really being encouraged to ground yourself, reconnecting with the earth, reconnecting, stepping away from technology and all the rest that can really lead you down rabbit holes where you don't need to be right now. This is about coming back into your own energy. When you start to open up and develop connection with, the spiritual side of yourself, you're entering into a realm where, we have karmic law, universal law itself, where things operate a little bit differently. You could be feeling very pulled in this direction, yet quite confined by your reality around you. So it's about kind of creating balance and making space. When you are working on your self-development and your spirituality, like acknowledging the time, privacy, and space that you need to be able to really tap into what your higher self is telling you here. So without further ado, Scorpio, let's have a little look in. Really drawn to these. Let's get a message for you, Scorpio. What is the message? What is going on for Scorpio right now? What do they need to know? If you're new here, welcome in. If you're returning, thank you and welcome back. I do encourage you all to hit the like, subscribe if you feel compelled, as it not only helps me connect with your energy, but also helps the channel grow. What are you needing to know right now, Scorpio? Growth. I do love this card. If we think of toadstools, mushrooms, they grow in the dark, don't they? And the transformation, the way in which they grow, it can be quite. It looks like there's not much going on, but next minute you go out in the morning and there's a whole heap of them popped up. So it's like, don't be too hard on yourself in thinking that there's no evidence of your growth, as there is powerful change that is occurring for you right now. You could really be starting to see yourself in a different light, and it may be more so based on how others are judging you right now, Scorpio. Maybe you are having time out. Maybe you have just come out of, a dark night. And it's also accepting this side of yourself, that is feeling this strong pull to really connect with spirit, to connect with your higher self at this time. It's like there's something magical happening within your transformation process. And you're making peace with a lot of things too. Could really be just, accepting the reality that is around you at some point in some way. Seeing now that, she's holding herself with a lot of integrity there. Hey, I've got a heap of plants and shit all over my face, but I think I look great. She's very self accepting of what's happening for her. And if you're not feeling this way, this is your encouragement from the universe to really accept the changes happening. Change doesn't have to make sense to those around you, nor should you feel the need to justify yourself at this time. I really wanted to grab the book here just to read The Spirit of the Toadstool to you. And it says, beneath the surface of your life, miraculous changes are occurring. Something that you thought was ordinary is in fact remarkable. You're in a time of rapid spiritual and material growth. Get ready and hang on for the ride. Whatever changes you are making, you might feel like I'm seeing no physical progress of it. But, someone here needs to know that you are inspiring others. And this could simply be just from being yourself. We're a very deep sign. For those that don't know, I am a Scorpio sun also. And, the way in which we like to conversate, the areas of learning that we find ourselves, intertwining with, it's not for everyone. And this place of acceptance that I feel like you are really melting into is allowing that's okay. That's okay to be on this path. And we can't force others to be on it too, nor can we try and exhaust ourselves trying to justify the things that really light you up. So you need to know whatever work you are currently doing on yourself, in your community, for yourself, for others, things are about to take off probably more than you even considered or imagined yourself. So, it might be a time to really ask yourself, what is it that I want? Like, what am I doing? Like, do I want the things that I still want? And also like feeling proud of whatever it is that you are setting out to achieve right now in your life. I do love the message of that card, and it's exciting. Time to really believe in what you can cultivate in your life. The toadstool is a very ancient source of food. It holds a lot of potassium and iron, and those back in the ancient days, like that was a route of survival for them, and one that was very nourishing. So whatever path you are on, I feel like this is something that nourishes you. It's something that you enjoy, and you get great satisfaction from doing it, even if you've had to cop a lot of backlash for it, even if there are others that don't agree with it. This is about really being grounded in yourself and acknowledging what might be coming up for you at this time, and where the potential of whatever it is you're doing can lead you. Yeah, just because we're on the whole toadstool thing, I'm going to get my fairy oracle. What do the Fae have as encouragement for you right now, Scorpio? Emotional healing. As your heart heals of old emotional pain, you receive new blessings and love. Someone here has endured a lot, a lot throughout their life, to be having to be in a space of, radical self-acceptance. And also being able to persist through, like you've got a lot of willpower in order to keep going, to be able to be back in this space of opening your heart up to life again, opening your heart up to yourself. It's very powerful to remain vulnerable in, a world that likes to shut you down or make you feel like what you're doing is wrong. But it's like it's the dawn of a new day here, this transformation that has occurred within you. And it's not going unnoticed. I think that's something to really remember here. It's not going unnoticed. because you will receive new blessings and love. It's coming. It's coming for you, Scorpio. We're going to go these. Be very drawn to green crystals at this time, or even just finding yourself maybe, bringing more plants into your home, spending more time in nature. And it's like this growth that's happening within you is now becoming a reflection of your external environments. It's also where you may notice, you want to share your love, even when it's not reciprocated. Holding space. Someone here could be very good at holding space. So what's going on around you, Scorpio? What's happening in your life? What are you dealing with? What are the messages that we need to have come through? We got the Fool. It's been something quite sudden in your life, something that you've had to, you may not have been expecting. You may have really been having to navigate thinking on your feet in a new way. Please keep in mind these energies could be past. Yeah, heartache, a shock breakup, a shock betrayal, something quite painful. And, something that maybe this is like a reoccurring experience that you've had with, opening yourself up to others in your life. There's been a lot of pain and a deep longing for something that that you want, that you deserve, that's out there, but you've been yet to see it in the physical, yet to experience it. Someone here could really feel like, anything that I've had that was called love wasn't love at all. It might be a past version of what you used to accept, but you outgrew. It's something that's caused you a lot of pain that you've had to rebuild from. Exile. This could really set you out on a different path. When everything that was comfortable around us, or everything that we've ever known around us, suddenly goes, or suddenly cuts us off. Silent treatments us, makes us feel shut out. That's where that deep contemplation really starts to begin. That's where the real transformation process happens. This card, this exile card, it can be one that's like, quite disheartening, quite saddening for the things that we let go of in life. But in this reading, I'm really seeing it as it's a pure gift, because those things that were around you were the very things that were keeping you unhappy and not seeing your worth, not allowing the good things that you are destined for to come into your life. So if you are feeling alone at this time, just know there are others out there that resonate with that. There are others, we're not Robinson Crusoe, are we? This isn't there's a collective for a reason. We're all part of it. And, just know that it's leading you more in alignment with those that understand, those that have been there before. And maybe one day you will offer this guidance to somebody else also. Because it's there's something that you have learnt. There's something that you are understanding about the realities that have been around you. You may have someone in your life that is really, stressing out, experiencing this, and you are really able to offer wisdom from a space of deep knowing, of knowing that there is another side to pain. Key. Whatever this journey has been, this hurtful, dark, very lonesome. Maybe it felt lonesome to begin with, but it's the key shows up when we're in the silence, when we are able to come back to ourselves, and come back within in that inward journey, self-discovery, self-evolution, self-growth. Is that the answers that we seeked was always within us, always. It's just been a matter of, filtering out all the noise in order to be able to come back to this conclusion, this solution, more than anything. Let's have a look in with some tarot. What might be blocking path for you, or what guidance are you needing right now, Scorpio? So the Hierophant and the Ten of Cups. Could be a commitment coming in. Or there's something that you are, being very loyal to right now that's bringing a lot of emotional fulfillment. A lot of structure that you've had in your life. Got the Nine of Wands here. We've got the Eight of Wands. Got the High Priestess here. Whatever you've been going through, I feel like you have been, you've been not speaking on this. You've been doing this alone. You've been really uncovering the veil of your own intuition and your own magic, your own spiritual gifts that you have. You could really be working with the lunar cycles right now. You could be really focusing on restoring your emotional body, things, recognizing the things that trigger you, being able to, decide for yourself whether these are things that you want to partake in or things that you need to protect yourself from. There's something quite imbalanced that you may have found yourself involved in. Something that required you to put some boundaries in place. Again, you're probably thinking, or you did at the time. To protect, to not have to go through something again, or to protect whatever it is that you may be building within yourself, whether this is a creative project or even just, your own creative inspiration. Some of you could be dealing with a Sagittarius. Someone that you had to move away from. Someone that caused a lot of turbulence in your life. And it's like you may be a parent. You may have had to really protect the innocent here, or protect maybe that innocent, vulnerable side of yourself that you didn't want to have to experience something again, or to keep on enduring. Eight of Wands here. You could have made a decision to move away from something or someone really controlling, really quite, someone that sort of lost their own agency, however, would not like to admit that. This could have been, an imbalance in your own masculinity, in drawing in partners that resemble that lack of power within your own masculinity. Could also be someone that's, sitting on the edge of their fork in the road and wondering whether to communicate something to you. Who is the Emperor reverse to you? There's someone that maybe you just could not see eye to eye with. Someone that, didn't do a lot of self-reflecting on the issues within something. I mean, this could even be at a workplace as well. Yeah, it may have been like a new position that you were in, or this could even be something that's really led you to your own, what you want to invest in. You may have even been investing, like just giving a list of scenarios here because this will be different for you all, but you may have really, you know, taken a risk in investing into something that just didn't want to work with you, that was not wanting to invest in the same things. But it's like you're showing up as the high priestess here, Scorpio. You know, whatever it was, like, I feel like you may have, your spidey senses were out regarding this, and you had to trust your gut here in a situation. Could have been to do with a connection, something that, you know, maybe you'd really hoped was going to be everything that it first presented as. Maybe a soulmate, maybe a mutual connection, understanding. What happened here? Got the Knight of Pentacles and the Moon. It's like someone almost had a hidden agenda, or just, you know, a lack of self-expression of their own emotions, a lack of slow progress with their own understanding of their intuition. You know, if there's one thing that, you know, the Scorpio does desire, is to, you know, feel desired and to hear someone express that. And it's like someone was kind of just offering something at face value very, very slowly, that and not speaking on how they truly felt. A lot of resistance to really understanding, you know, and this could have like just made you like presented as a big no for you. Yeah, that's not what I'm wanting. A lot of gaslighting. You know, a lot of you may have felt exploited in some way, like someone just wanted to use you for a little. This could be in something that was quite passionate to begin with, but there were like things going on behind the scenes or behind your back that, you know, you were picking up on. And this could be with a friend, could be in situations where you thought you could trust people. So why is this showing up for you? Yeah, we've got the Six of Cups reversed, and we've got the Five of Wands. It's a lot of interference of other people's opinions, other people's ideas, or just competitiveness. But it's like you could find yourself really, you know, reminiscing about this connection. Maybe it's something that you cut off, but yet you still find you are feeling a little tied to. And it's like someone from your past, maybe this is that person, could really be, you know, having something blow up in their face right now. Maybe your exit really blew up in their face. Maybe your discovery of the involvement of others' influence, or, you know, even just a back and forth of like, who is in the right. You know, just really made you realize like what you want to feel in connection and in love. It could also be someone else who it's all blowing up, that are actually, they have very deep feelings for you. But it's like this is almost giving that you had a maturity here to allow something to really blow up. Just let it blow up. Like, I know how I feel and I know my worth here. Something that you really, you know, you dug deep to come to this conclusion. You've had a lot of strength. Some of you could be dealing with a Leo. But it's like whatever blew up, you know, there's a big difference in these energies, isn't it? It's just someone that's kind of willing to accept parts about themselves, and someone that acts on, you know, on those sudden thoughts of opinion that come in that can be quite cutting, that can be quite ruthless. You're very attractive at this time, Scorpio, no matter your gender, and you are feeling more confident within yourself. You could even have really been attracted to this person, and maybe on some level you're really seeing through now that what is it? It's sort of somewhat different, but you can't judge a book by its cover, can you? I remember throughout my years, I'm very visual, and there were times I'd find myself in a library without even like reading the blurb or flipping through the book. I'd look at the front cover and think, oh, fuck, this looks great. This looks really cool. And I'd get at home and be like, this is shit. I don't like this at all. And so it's like learning how to read between the lines. That then began a journey for me of reading the back, opening the book up and reading maybe the first chapter to see if it's something that I want to invest my time into. Something's ended, and it's also erupted a new cycle. It's like the further that you go on your spiritual path, like there's always going to be things that pop up. We don't just accomplish healing and it be done. We're always going to be presented with things almost as tests from the universe to be like, well, have we learned? Have we learned? Have we grown? And you've grown. You've grown a lot. And you've learned to really trust yourself. More than anything, you've learned to trust yourself, Scorpio. Someone is kind of seeing that now. King of Wands knows what he wants. I feel like, within your own masculinity, you are, something could have really ended here. Within your own masculinity, you're really learning how to, almost be that father figure for yourself and protect yourself, protect your energy. And, protect that feminine side of you that wants to nurture something and, has compassion and care. But it's also something now that you will not allow to be exploited. You're very intelligent. I feel like this is almost, you're able to learn from what things teach you. Not everything is a bad experience. It's like, oh, wow, that really, if it was fact, felt like shit, but I can come out the other side now and see what that actually taught me. And I'm proud of myself for that, because now I can take that knowledge and use it in my next adventure. So what is the closing angel guidance here for you, Scorpio? And we'll wrap this one up. Closing message from your angels. Answered prayer. It hasn't all been forgotten. The things that you have been wanting to manifest into your life, the things that you actually deserve, like, it's coming. It's coming. And there's no need to sit around and wait. And I don't feel like you're in that energy. You're not just sitting here dwelling. You're not sitting around longing. You are trusting. Maybe at some point you were really waiting on someone or something to step up. And this choice to really evolve yourself and to keep going no matter how hard it is. The universe is acknowledging that. And something's coming in. I'm going to wrap this one up, Scorpio. If it resonated, if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to Following the Signs, and I'll see you in the next one.